Howdee-haie guys! Before I start this actual book review wrap-up, a monthly update for March's month, I have a confession to make. I may have accidentally kind of broken one of my New Year's resolutions already. If you haven't seen it, it's on my joint channel with Joe called Ninjenjo. I'll link the video down below. But basically what it was, if you don't want to watch the video, one of them was not to buy any more books until I finished all what I got from like Christmas and my birthday and stuff like that. And today I may have just broken that. Yeah, I may have just broken that a little bit too much. So before I actually get into that, so another like side note, I had an exception. I knew I was gonna break it and I didn't know how soon it would be because I have these 4 books and these 2, I didn't know this was like the second in a series, and I didn't know this had some prequels that I'd prefer to read first. And these 2 I won on Goodreads, so they're just random numbers within the series, so I need to get the first one to start it off. If you want to know what these books were, it is Expedition to the Mountains of the Moon by Mark Howdee, Forsaken, The Demon Trappers by Janet Oliver, and Spooks, Slither's Tale and Spooks Nightmare by Joseph Delaney. So that's the reason why I knew I was going to break the resolution, but I didn't know how soon it was going to be. But it turned out it was going to be pretty soon, because today I went into Asda and, okay, I knew I wanted to buy these books because they're so cheap in Asda, guys. If you've got an Asda near you, or I think Walmart in America, go there before you go to any other bookstore, or maybe online as well, because they are just so cheap. So here is what I got. Now, I think these books were £3.50 and £4. I'm not too sure which one was which, but I got Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I've heard so much, I don't actually know what it's about, but I've heard so much good things about this on YouTube and on Goodreads, and I just really wanted to try it out. And another thing I've heard from Goodreads and YouTube is Half Bad. Is it Half Bad? Yeah, Half Bad by Sally Green. It's really cool because it's got like the black side and then it's got like the white side, and that's like really cool because it's like half and half. And I got 2 more books. They were both £3.50. This is Dull Bones. Another thing, I don't really know what it's about, but I think, I'm not too sure, it's by Holly Black, and I think that's the person who did Mrs. Pilgrim's Home for Thing. I'm not too sure, but I don't know, I remember hearing this author somewhere else, and it was also another to read on my Goodreads, so I recognise the author, but I can't remember what book it was. I'm probably really wrong. And the one that I've been most anticipating for, not ages because I've only just got into the series, but for a good while as soon as I've known, it is The Assassin's Blade, The Throne of Glass novellas, all collected together. It's like the prequels to the series, and this is by Sarah J. Maas, or Sarah J. Maas, I'm not too sure how to say it. I've already read the first one, which is The Throne of Glass, but I knew they was coming out with the short novellas, and I just wanted to get my hands on it so quickly. I wanted it so badly. So I think I'm going to read the rest of the Throne of Glass main series. I've explained this in another video, and then go on to the prequels. Because with prequels, I mean, Hobbit, as an example, you can pretty much read after you've read the main series, and you can understand. It just gives you a bit of insight. So I'm hoping that this will do the same for me. Now let's get on to the actual March book wrap-up. The first book I read during March was Wormwood Blood Honey by Stuart Ann Riddle. It seems like I read this ages ago. I can't really remember much about it. That's obviously a bad sign that I didn't really enjoy the book. If you didn't know, this is the second book to the series Wormwood. The first one's called Wormwood Returner's Wealth, and I have already done like a review wrap-up for that. I think that was for February. So yeah, I went to the second one, and it just following the adventures, like carrying on the adventures of Mika and his friend Eli and their other friends as they go throughout the Wormwood. They get into trouble and they find new friends and go into sinister places. And I mean, it's an enjoyable book, I guess, but it just wasn't that awesome, and I don't really have anything to rave about for it. I was kind of the same really with the first book, so although I was hoping the second book would prove more better and I'd understand the world a bit more, it didn't really live up to my expectations. I was hoping it would give me more insight into the life of what's going on in the Wormwood, but it didn't really provide that for me. The second book I read in March was the third and last in the series, thank God, of Wormwood, The Bone Trail by Stuart Ann Riddle. Yeah, I actually liked this better than the rest of the series, which is kind of sad, seeing as it is actually the last book, but yeah, I enjoyed this more than the rest. It like I said, it ends the series of the Wormworld Chronicles, I guess it's called, and it's like a little bit of a sequel bait at the end. I don't want to say anything because I've written a more detailed review on Goodreads, but I don't want to say anything because I feel like someone's going to have a go at me and be like, why did you spoil it? But basically, something happens at the end, and I kind of knew it throughout, like I thought it was on my mind, but events happened, and I think intentionally it made me forget what I was thinking, and then at the end it was like, it hits you with it, and you're like, oh damn, I knew it, but I forgot it. That's what you wanted me to know, or not know, rather. So yeah, I enjoyed this much more than the rest of the books of the series, but still, out of all, like the whole series, like rating them, I would give them like a 2. It wasn't that great, but I wish I enjoyed it more than I did. It just wasn't for me. The last book I read last month was The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, and this was a reread because last time I read it, it was like a loan, and it was only because the Hobbit film was coming out and I just wanted to read it before I saw the film because I'm a bit weird like that. And I was a bit stressed and I didn't enjoy it as much as I could have if I wasn't under pressure of the film coming out. So I read this again after seeing like the second installation, The Desolation of Smaug, of the Hobbit films, and yes, I do not regret it. It is amazing. I can definitely understand it a lot better now after reading it once before and then seeing bits of the films. Well, not bits, seeing the films. It's just amazing. If you, for some reason, do not know what The Hobbit is, and you've been living in a hobbit hole for your whole life, basically it's about Bilbo Baggins, who's a hobbit, and he lives in the Shire, and he has a very sheltered life, and he gets on, and everyone's happy, and adventures are a no-no for hobbits. It's just weird and queer, as they say, and it's not right. And he goes on an adventure that will change his life forever with a wizard called Gandalf. And they go with Thorin and company, so that's 13 other dwarves, and they're going to try and get their jewellery and their home back from the dragon Smaug. And yeah, it's just about an adventure and a journey and all the dangerous things that happen to them on the way to get to Smaug. So it's the prequel to the Lord of the Rings series, which I'm currently reading the first one of now. The set I have is like that, and it comes in a box set like this, so the books are split up even smaller. So the one I'm reading at the moment is called The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, Book 1, The Ring Sets Out. So that's just at the moment all about the journey of Frodo going out with the ring. That sounded weird. But yeah, sorry, I sidetracked a bit there. I keep sidetracking, I always sidetrack. That was my review for, like my book wrap up for the month of March, and hopefully I get through some good books this month. It's probably just going to be Lord of the Rings based, because if I'm reading a series, I really don't like to jump and skip from another book because I get really confused, unless it's a manga because I can follow things easier. Yeah, it's just a different style of writing, and I can follow that. But yeah, this is the end of this video. It will be up late. Because I'm having internet problems at the moment, and so you'll probably see 2 videos in one day, but one's only short, it's just a stretch and update. So look forward to those, and I will speak to you in the next video. See you later guys, bye!